Ah, things are crazy. This is a live show, but welcome, boys and girls, to Beard Wizard Reviews. The intro's messed up. I tried this once before the bit rate was all screwed up. This is a live show, though. Like I was saying before, we had some technical difficulties. This is a live review show where I talk about music and independent creators and artists and things like that. And so it's not a reaction channel, but sometimes you guys called it that. But back to the beginning. Welcome to Beard Wizard Reviews. I'm your host, Beard Wizard Man, also known as Trevor on social media. Links to all of which you can find in the video description below. Also, ways to support the channel are down there, like thebeardstruggle.com, where you can get the same products I use for this magnificent wizard beard. I'm not going to say it'll give you a beard like this. This is genetics and time and luck. But it'll keep your skin healthy. It'll make your hair smell nice. It will make your significant other happy because you don't smell all weird. It actually has some really good stuff. Check that out. Check out my code to save some money. Biggest way to support us, though, is click that red subscribe button, join the Beard Wizard family, or follow us over on Twitch. I only need like 8 or 9 more of you guys on the road to affiliate to get, I need my 50. I'm almost there. So if you guys are here, please follow over there. So today is Monday. We do songs from our friends in the Far East, Asian bands like Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Buryat, Siberia, all of the bands on the eastern part of the largest continent in the world. And today we're going to take a look at Unlucky Morpheus. Now, Bandmade recently released an all instrumental song that we did on Friday or Saturday. I can't remember which day, but if you missed it, go check it out. This is also an instrumental from Unlucky Morpheus. It is a cover of Van Halen, or I should specifically say Eddie Van Halen's Eruption, and Dream Theater's The Dance of Eternity. Now, to be specific, why I'm specific about that is Eruption is Eddie Van Halen's guitar solo. It's probably one of the most intricate, just killer guitar solos that there ever was. And the video, you can find it online. You can watch the whole thing from a concert they did back in the 80s. But it's about 17 and a half minutes of Eddie Van Halen absolutely shredding his guitar. Now, they are not going to do 17 and a half minutes, but they do a very fantastic job of covering the first part of Eruption. And then a fantastic job of covering a Dream Theater song, which Dream Theater is also a very good band. I don't listen to them a ton, but they are very good. But Eddie Van Halen stepping into his shoes, even with just a violin, that's some pretty big shoes to fill, even if you only do it for a couple minutes. So we're going to take a look at that. We'll pause as necessary, talk about the music. Thank you for whoever just joined. Say hi. Let me know you're here. If you're watching the recording, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Again, this show's a little wonky today, so please bear with me. But this is a live show. This is what happens sometimes, and this is why I love the format. So here we go. This is Unlucky Morpheus's live cover of Van Halen's Eruption and Dream Theater's The Dance of Eternity. Before she launches into that, like I said, if you have not heard Eddie Van Halen's Eruption, I highly encourage you after this to not only go to Unlucky Morpheus' channel, make sure you subscribe, listen to some other stuff, but please find the video. There's several of them out there of Eddie Van Halen playing the full Eruption guitar solo. It will blow your mind if you've never heard it before. It sets the bar so high for guitar work. Eddie was just an absolute genius when it came to playing the guitar. And she's doing a fantastic job of covering this first part of that solo, the key most recognized part. Now, I can't remember the song that they usually lead into it, but Van Halen eventually put Eruption as sort of the intro to one of their more common songs. So she's actually playing most of the part that used to lead into that other song, and they would play it at concerts where he would start Eruption. He would play a first couple of minutes, and then they would launch into the song, and I believe it's also on, is it on 1984? It's on one of their albums, where they have Eruption sort of lead into the rest of the song. Welcome, Ed. Yeah, I don't know what it is today. The internet is being wonky, and it completely threw off my groove. Sorry you're having connection issues as well. But here we go. Here's some more. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Here we go. Ridiculous. Why are we getting ads? We should not be getting ads. Oh, what? I've never had ads in the middle of a song. This is annoying, YouTube. Sorry.
With more rental listings than anybody else, it was just.
I already went through the ads. I don't know why I'm getting ads all of a sudden.
It's got.
What a weird day. What an absolutely weird day doing this show. Again, live show. This is what happens. I apologize. Normally we don't get ads in the middle of a review like this. Hopefully we don't get any more. I usually watch the ads ahead because I get the ads when I first start the video. So normally I watch them then. This is the first time I've got ads while doing the video. It's very strange. So sorry about that. Anyway, I wanted to give you, so what I was talking about is when Van Halen started incorporating this song Eruption into their set, they played it before their cover of the Kinks' You've Really Got Me. I knew that, and when you hear You've Really Got Me on the radio from Van Halen, you'll usually hear that part leading into the song, but they did that in concert too. Yeah, I agree, Ed. The internet gods are not happy with us today. I don't know why, but thank you guys for being here and sticking around. Now, when Eruption is talked about, they say that this is probably one of the greatest guitar solos ever played. And it's one of the things that Eddie did is what they call two-hand tapping, playing the keys or playing the strings by just tapping them. Something that was relatively unheard of at the time, and he really changed music when Eddie did this. He really changed music and changed the whole landscape of what it meant to be a rock band and what it meant to be a rock guitarist, because it showed that rock guitarists weren't just there to shred chords and make a lot of loud noises. Like his 17-minute guitar solo showed the world and showed the industry that guitar players could play something symphonic, could play something over the top by themselves without any accompaniment and make it just as good as anything out there in the world. So to step into those shoes and cover that, that takes some big stones. She's doing a fantastic job here. Now some Dream Theater. Different tone. Before he launches that, I'm going to be 100% honest. I am not familiar with this Dream Theater song. Again, I don't listen to Dream Theater a lot. I can say, speaking musically, they are killing it. She on the violin, one of the things that is always tricky with a violin in a rock song is it either gets lost in the noise, or it just doesn't fit. And so far, I've never had any trouble sort of accepting the violin in an Unlucky Morpheus song, or in this case, in this Dream Theater song. It fits. She is fantastic at it. She plays it well. The sound guys do a good job of making sure she comes through the background so that you can hear what's going on. And that's something that gets missed a lot. I see a lot of rock bands try it. I see a lot of rock bands throw in an electric violin or a traditional acoustic violin, and it doesn't. All you hear is either some really high-pitched screeching or nothing at all. And to me, that's a waste. So they are doing a great job here, both her as a musician, but also the sound guys, making sure we can hear her. So fantastic job all around. Something. Changing time here a little bit. Clearly having a good time. Right, Ed? All right, we're gonna back up a sec. Ed, yeah, damn right. Those time changes and that kind of off beat play, it feels weird. It sounds weird. I'm trying to recall some of my musical terminology from way back when I was in band. But playing that sort of off tempo or that weird timing always throws you off, but it keeps things interesting. Like, it feels almost wrong, but it's not. You can tell that it's not. But it messes with your head a little bit. It messes with your ear, and it makes you think that you're a little off beat. And that's hard for a musician sometimes. I remember when we had to play things like that, where you had to play sort of off the beat. That's hard to do, and it, like, musically, it keeps things interesting. Technically, it's a challenge. because your natural inclination is to play with the beat or to play in a certain tempo. And when you're playing counter to that, it's one of the reasons that polka is so sometimes. I know a lot of people don't like polka, but polka is like that too, where you're playing off the beat. It feels weird. And when you're playing that as a musician, it's also challenging because it doesn't quite feel right. But when you get it, it works. It's just very strange. Jill had played the Dance of Eternity while playing a blindfold at a live stream she did. That's very cool. I can tell that she's focused on the keys now, or the strings. I keep saying keys. She's not playing a piano. She's very focused on finger placement now. But yeah, playing blindfolded, I could imagine, is tricky. But also, I mean, if you think about it as a musician, I played mostly brass instruments. I didn't need to look at what I was doing for the most part to be able to play. Violin has a few more strings than the keys I had to deal with. But at the end of the day, I imagine that that's probably a challenge, but I think it looks cooler than it probably really is. Like, that's kind of neat that she did that. But really, a lot of these guys, when they memorize their music, they're not needing really to look at what their finger placement is, as long as it's almost like typing by touch. As long as you don't lose the placement of your fingers, you're probably pretty good. But it would have been really cool to see. It would be cool to see them in concert live anyway. In any case, doesn't really matter. But that would be really neat. Nice bass solos in this. Damn. That off beat again. Yeah, that part, that's where your challenge lies. You really have to trust your timekeeper. You have to trust your own inner metronome when you're playing like that for that long. Like, that was probably a good minute and a half, 2 minutes of just constant off-tempo playing. That was freaking impressive. Watching their fingers move, all of them, the guitar, right from the guitar to the bass, that bass solo, and then Jill and the violin, just killing it. And their drummer, like, you have to really trust the drummer, because the drummer eventually has to bring you back into that sort of time, and you have to trust that he's on time when you get back there. It's such a weird feeling. It's very hard to describe playing that way when you're a musician, because as weird as it feels to you as a listener, it feels extremely weird as a musician, because it goes against every instinct you have to keep time, to play on time, to hit the beat every time. And when you're off that beat, it makes the music interesting. It makes the music challenging, and brings a new level to it that keeps the listener engaged. But yeah, you've really got to trust that drummer is going to land on the beat when you expect him to land on the beat, so that you guys can catch back up at the right time and come down again, all together in the same spot. And when you're all off, that's a trick that is really tricky to do. And kudos to them doing it live, because you can't mess up if you're live, that you can't cover that up. So very fantastic. Such a great passage right there. Very fantastic. That's not, what am I doing? Such a great passage right there. Welcome over to the show. Fantastic. Killer instrumental from Unlucky Morpheus. Jill on the violin, just fantastic. You can see the Eruption cover is the next video it's recommending. It only just under 2 minutes. I really wish that she did more. That piece, Eruption by Eddie Van Halen, is one of the most iconic guitar solos and really musical pieces that has come out of any rock band in history. And I think it gets a little downplayed by the rest of what Van Halen did, but it needs to be showcased more. I highly recommend you guys go look at the Eruption video. There's several on YouTube, but look up Eruption from Eddie Van Halen, and it's about 17 and a half minutes. It's incredible. If you've never heard the whole thing before, please go listen to it. Go to Unlucky Morpheus' channel. Make sure you subscribe there. Tell them the Beard Wizard Man sent you, so they know where the love is coming from. And if you've been paying attention to the channel and social media, I've got a special coming up on the 1st of December. So I pick up every year so far, the last 3 years, I've picked up a beer advent calendar. It's a German beer advent calendar, and I've always done them and talked about them and posted on social media. Well, this year, my sister-in-law found an advent calendar that's a bunch of U.S. craft breweries. She asked if I wanted it. I said, sure, why not? Who doesn't want more beer? So I thought today, I was like, you know what? Make a good video series. I'm going to do a battle of the beers here. 24 videos starting the 1st of December. German beer versus U.S. microbrew out of this advent calendar. I will try both of them every day for 24 days, and we'll see how it goes. I'll tell you what I think about each one. We'll pick a winner, and at the end of the day, we will see who wins out, Germany or U.S. We'll see. But watch for that coming the 1st. Thank you guys so much. Ed, Maximus, anybody else who was here. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I will see you all again soon. You have a great one. Much love.